Okay, so in this video I'm going to be talking about the 3 best art pieces I did this semester in my art elective class. And my first art piece, or art pieces, will be my 3 portraits that I did using varying techniques. My second project is a collage of small pieces of paper forming a sandwich, and the third is another collage of mostly small pieces of paper, talking about one of my sacred spaces. Before we get into my projects and what I've done this semester, I'd like to talk about the ESLER that this class has hit on throughout the entire year. And mainly, and sort of obviously, it's develop our God-given abilities. I think this because at the beginning of the year, I was artful and I was able to do art, but I wasn't reaching my full potential. And I still haven't reached my full potential now. But now I have a better understanding of how to create and develop ideas that I have for art. Now I'm going to move on to my first of the 3 projects, which in this case is my 3 portraits. You can see them there. It's a little bit blurry, but we'll get on clear pictures later. So the first of my 3 portraits is my solid color portrait. Now, on this one, I wasn't really trying hard, I guess. I feel that I should have colored all areas, such as you can see here, in a little bit darker, so it's more emphasized and solid. In these yellow sections on my face, that's where I feel that I did the best with my highlights and shadows, because that's where the light was hitting off my face. However, all these other dark colors are a little mushed together and blended, rather than being separate and defined. My second of the 3 portraits is my pointillism portrait, and I feel this is one of my best pieces of artwork this entire year. I really enjoyed making this one. I put a lot of effort into it to making it look good, and you can see that I made sure that the pointillism points faded in and out from being light and dark. Even though I feel I could have had more contrast, you can still see the little bit of contrast that I do have. For my third and final portrait, I feel that this was more or less the best piece of artwork I've done this semester and throughout the year. In this one, I used the different words that describe me and who I was as a person, as well as my physical attributes, as my drawing utensil or drawing ink, and making that specifically me of that portrait. So the main word I used around here is Idaho, because that's where I'm from, while in my hand it says Korea, which is where I lived for 6 years, and other things like basketball over here, because that's just something I like to do. In this one, I feel that I really did well with the contrast, because you can see, especially right here on my left nostril, it's very dark to show what point of the face that is, while the actual face, all this white, is very bright compared to the dark words that I have put around it. One thing I could have done better is on the straps of my hoodie, I could have made them more contrasting to the dark color. The second project that I did, this semester, was this collage that I talked about earlier, using small pieces of paper to form one big picture of a sandwich. Now, you can see that I used small pieces on the right, on the top half of the bread, just to show the contrast between the big pieces and the small pieces, or big and small, while also using the lighter pieces around here to show highlights and the darker ones here and here as my shadows. Now on the bottom you can see I used the darker or darkest pieces that I had to show that not much light was getting down there. The table here also shows some value or depth, because behind the sandwich over here, it's got a darker brown rather than over here in front of the sandwich, because the light, when it comes down this direction, it bounces off and around. It doesn't get behind the sandwich. The third and final piece of art I did was just recently, this last collage that I made with small pieces of paper. Now I feel that the grass could have been done better with a more common grass area. Rather, I used a much more variety of greenery than I intended to, but that's just how it turned out. I tried to focus on the flower pot that I have here, using daisies and some other pink flowers that I don't know the names of. And one other thing I could have done better is adding more trees in the background here, because in the actual picture it's full of trees all through here. But this is my sacred space, and this is where my oldest sister, got married, so it really means something to me, and that's why I made an art piece on it.